This episode is exclusively sponsored by CanWe. Get clear on what you and your date are looking for faster. CanWe is your expert guide on your dating journey. Check out the CanWe app in Apple's App Store or on Google Play. Hi there, I'm Vincent and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing date your ex versus someone new. I provide audio coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing date your ex versus someone new. So if you have gone through a breakup and you want to try to get your ex back, you will have likely heard some people say that you should move on with your life and date new people. It's certainly true that dating new people is good advice, but ironically, this could help you one day reconnect with your ex. In today's podcast, I'm going to discuss 3 points to consider when thinking of dating someone new or your ex. So let's get straight into this, and number 1 is both might need to happen. So if you want to try to get your ex back, then dating someone new will increase the chance of you reconnecting with your ex. But why? Well, we have to consider something referred to as social proofing. So social proofing is the concept that we are influenced by the behaviour of others. So let's look at an example away from dating for a moment. If we was to walk by a shop which was very busy, we are more likely to consider to ourselves, this shop must be good because lots of people are in this shop. So if there are a lot of people in there, it must be a good quality shop. There must be something good inside. Let's go and have a look. And that is why lots of people, if they're walking through a shopping centre, a shopping mall, will be more attracted to shops which are busy in comparison to shops which are empty, which when you think about it, really flies in the face of convention, because if you was to consider an empty shop, you're likely to have a nicer shopping experience. There are less people around, you can browse more easily. However, if you see a busy shop, you are more attracted to wonder what's inside because you assume it must be good because more people are in the shop. So now let's go back to dating and consider your ex. If your ex ended the relationship, or even if you ended the relationship with your ex, you could be in a position now where you want them back. And if your ex knows that you are dating new people, they will be more likely to consider you as a dateable proposition. So it doesn't matter from what angle you come at this from, whether you are the dumper or whether you are the dumpee. Obviously, by listening to this podcast, you are now at the stage where you want to try to get your ex back. And hence, you need to see him as an attractive proposition as possible. By dating someone else, you become somebody who is dateable. Social proofing works in dating by the concept of if somebody is dating you, then you must be a good catch. So if and when your ex finds out about this, they will be more likely to be intrigued and to grow romantic emotional attraction for you because they see you as a dateable option, where previously they may have dumped you, or even if you dumped them, they might have decided that you was not somebody that they would ever see in a romantic light again. But now, if and when they find out about you dating someone new, this could be something which really pulls on their heartstrings. So you might be thinking, well, how will they find out? If I'm not dating them anymore, if I'm not in a relationship with my ex, why would they find out I'm dating someone new? Well, let me tell you, there seems to be an uncanny ability for exes to find out about their previous partners. especially within the first year or so. Whether this is social media, friends of friends, or some other reason that nobody can quite put their finger on, most exes tend to find out about the dating life of their previous partner in that initial first year as such, sometimes even beyond that, but generally that first year, an ex will often find out passively about what their former partner is doing. So you don't need to be worried about letting them know, because of course that would be ridiculous. I'm not telling you to tell your ex you're dating someone new. I'm just saying, believe in the concept. The likelihood is that they will find out about this. So dating someone new is very, very important. If you want to try to get your ex back, it can grow romantic emotional attraction via social proofing. And if you don't want to get your ex back, then meeting someone new, dating someone new will of course give you the greatest opportunity of finding fulfillment ASAP. If you sit around and think, look, I don't want to date for a while, that's fine, but don't leave it for too long, because you will lose perishable skills, dating skills in general, communication skills, flirting skills. They're perishable skills. The longer you go without using them, the sooner you will start to become worse at them. So you must keep in the game as much as you can. And dating somebody new, if you don't want your ex back, is something that you need to really get back into the saddle ASAP. So it's win-win. I strongly suggest dating new people no matter what angle you are coming from after a breakup. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast about date your ex versus someone new. And point number 2 is be open-minded. So if you're a stage 1 dumpee, then you will be thinking of your ex 24/7 and not want to consider the possibility of dating someone new. But you need to understand that keeping an open mind is the best way to find fulfillment, happiness, and satisfaction within your life. Because unfortunately, there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. And at the end of the day, happiness is the only thing which matters. I don't mind if you get your ex back or if you find somebody even better. Ultimately, if you feel happiness, it doesn't matter from what perspective you got there. So when I coach people, I don't mind if the end goal is them getting their ex back or if they find somebody even better. At the end of the day, if they are happy, if they are satisfied, if they are fulfilled, that is success. So please be open-minded. And I know as a stage 1 dumpee, that might feel like there is no other option other than you getting your ex back. But as you move through the dumpee stages, you will eventually move into stage 2, and that is where you will be open to dating new people. And if you move into stage 3, that is where you have found somebody even better than your ex, and you no longer want to even consider your ex as a dating possibility. So be open-minded, because you never know what the future holds. The way you feel today is not the way you will feel in 6 months' time, in 2 years' time, just as it's not the same as how you felt a few years ago before you met your previous ex. You know, however you look at things, we do evolve, we do grow, we do change. You and your ex have changed in different ways. Unfortunately, you are no longer together right now, but at one time you was in a loving relationship where you both felt a high level of romantic emotional attraction for one another. For various potential reasons, this level has dropped for one or both people, and you are now broken up. Whether you are the dumper or the dumpee is irrelevant at this stage, because what you are looking at is the way that feelings evolve and everything moves, everything grows, everything changes. Everything will go in one direction or another. So be open-minded. When you was together, you probably could never have imagined being apart. And now you are apart, you should be considering all of your options. Yes, there is a chance you could get your ex back. I see it every single week. People are reconnecting. But if you can find somebody even better, don't shut off that possibility. You are currently a single person, and your only route to happiness is not just defined by your ex. You can find different ways towards happiness, and at the end of the day, you might find somebody even better than your ex was for you. You might find somebody who ticks even more boxes and makes you even happier. Always remember to be open-minded about the future. So now let's move into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about date your ex versus someone new. And point number 3 is proof of concept. So dating an ex again provides positive and negative proof of concept. Firstly, we can understand that you and your ex was once together in a loving relationship. You have proof of concept that you did work together. However, we also have proof of concept that unfortunately your relationship has broken down, and therefore there are issues within this connection which would need to be resolved if and when you could live a happier life once more within a brand new relationship together. So if you get your ex back, this will not be a continuation of your old relationship. This will be a new relationship. It will be a new relationship, hopefully built on stronger foundations. But you would need to make sure that the problems which arose previously have been resolved. And therefore, that is the proof of concept. Dating an ex shows you that you can have a happy life together, as you no doubt did before your breakup, but it also shows you that things can go wrong and there are differences which need to be fixed. If you date somebody new, but you don't have proof of concept, you don't have the good and you don't have the bad. It's moving into a world of uncertainty. Now, this isn't something to be scared of, but it is something to understand, because when you date an ex again, you have that familiarity. Even though it is a brand new relationship, dating somebody new, there is no familiarity. It might seem like you don't know how this is going to go, but you just need to go with the flow. Always remember to be happy, carefree and fun. Be positive, get to know somebody new and see how things develop. At the end of the day, proof of concept is good and bad for an ex, and you have no proof of concept at all for somebody new. However you look at it, these are different options. They are not going to feel the same. Yes, familiarity can be good for the good, but when familiarity of bad appears in your mind, this can feel even scarier than meeting somebody new. So it doesn't matter from what perspective you look at these things. There are good and bad things. Dating somebody new has got no proof of concept from a positive, but it's got no proof of concept from a bad either. There's no negative because you haven't yet lived together, you haven't yet been together, you have not yet been in a relationship together. So there is nothing but a freshness, a new feeling, and the excitement that comes from that. If you do reconnect with your ex, when you can't bring the past to the present, you can't be somebody who is holding on to grudges, you can't be somebody who is starting to bring things up which caused your breakup in the first place. You must let go of those things and you must live this as a brand new relationship, just as you would if you met somebody new. Dating an ex can work, it does work, and we see it time and time again, but it will take work. Okay, it's not going to be easy when you first reconnect. There are going to be things which need to be resolved. So please always remember that. You have a proof of concept for the good, you have a proof of concept of the bad, and you must make the best of it. Dating somebody new, there's no proof of concept, so just live in a positive way and see how things develop. So I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. I hope you can see there are the big differences between dating your ex and dating someone new, although sometimes they are linked and sometimes you will actually end up doing both. As long as you find happiness, that is all that matters. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.